In this video, we will review digestion and excretion. When talking about digestion, there are two major methods of breakdown. Mechanical breakdown takes large chunks and breaks them down physically into smaller pieces of food. Chemical breakdown focuses on breaking chemical bonds between different subunits. So, for example, mechanical breakdown would be chewing in the mouth, while chemical breakdown would be amylase breaking the large carbohydrates into smaller monosaccharides. There are four major steps in the digestive process. The first is to ingest our food. We take it into our bodies using our mouths. The second step is actual digestion, where we break large pieces of food into tiny molecules that can be absorbed. The third step, absorption, occurs primarily in the small intestines, where we take in nutrients that we need to use in our bodies. The last step is elimination. This is where we get rid of unusable wastes from our body. Ingestion and the beginning of digestion occur in the mouth. The mouth includes teeth, tongue, salivary glands, and the start of the esophagus. Teeth are used to grind food or slice it into smaller pieces. The tongue helps by maneuvering food around in the mouth. Salivary glands secrete substances that help with chemical breakdown, such as amylase, as well as help to lubricate the chewed food. Once the food has been processed in the mouth, we swallow, pushing that bolus of food down to the esophagus. We've talked a lot about teeth in this class. Remember, there are four types of teeth. The incisors are in the front. These teeth are meant for nipping, pulling, and cutting. The canines are large and conical. In predators, these are designed to help capture prey, subdue prey, and they can also be used for aggressive displays. Molars and premolars are used for slicing, cutting, or grinding food. The esophagus is a long muscular tube leading from the back of the mouth down to the stomach. We see that there are peristaltic waves of smooth muscle that push food from the top of the esophagus down to the stomach. These peristaltic waves will actually continue through the entire digestive tract, from the esophagus all the way through the large intestines. At the bottom of the esophagus, in the top of the stomach, there's a sphincter that allows food to go into the stomach. The sphincter then closes behind the food, preventing backflow. The peristaltic waves will continue through the stomach, causing contractions and mixing. There's mechanical breakdown in the stomach as food is churned across the rugae, or these ridges in the stomach. There is also chemical breakdown in the stomach. Stomach cells release hydrochloric acid and pepsin to help digest proteins. Stomach cells also secrete a mucus to help protect themselves from this strong acid. The pH of the stomach is usually around 2. The enzymes are designed to break down large polypeptides into slightly shorter polypeptide chains. There's very little absorption occurring in the stomach. Some water may be absorbed, but generally most absorption occurs in the small intestine. The small intestine has 3 regions: the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. You do not need to learn to identify the 3 areas for this class. The small intestine is responsible for the completion of the digestive process and for absorption of most of the nutrients into our bodies. Food entering the small intestine from the stomach is called chyme. This chyme is highly acidic and must be neutralized. The chemicals used for digestion in the small intestine are made in other organs and shipped to the small intestines to be used. The pancreas produces digestive juices, which includes things like bicarbonate. Bicarbonate is used to neutralize the chyme as it enters the small intestine from the stomach. Digestive juices also include enzymes such as trypsin, which breaks down protein, lipase, which breaks down lipids, and more amylase, which breaks down carbohydrates. The liver has many functions. When we focus on digestion, the liver is responsible for helping to break down lipids. The liver produces bile salts. which help emulsify fats. The bile salts are stored in the gallbladder until they are needed. When we eat a fatty meal, the gallbladder empties bile salts into the small intestines. Fats are then emulsified or broken down from large globules into smaller globules. This allows for the lipase to then act on the lipids and break them down. After the digestion process is complete, the rest of the small intestine focuses on absorbing the nutrients. Most of the nutrients enter straight into the bloodstream. Lipids enter into the lymphatic system, go to the liver for processing, and then enter the bloodstream. The remaining substances enter into the large intestine. The large intestine is responsible for absorption of water, salts, and certain vitamins that are left in the chyme substance. The large intestine in humans is broken down into 3 regions: the ascending colon, which goes up, the transverse colon, which goes across our abdomen, and the descending colon, which goes down to the rectum, where wastes are stored. Elimination of waste happens at the anus. We will see that the fetal pigs have a slightly different anatomy when it comes to the large intestine. The function, however, remains the same. The excretory system is responsible for osmoregulation in the body. The excretory system is made up of the kidney, the ureter, the urinary bladder, and the urethra. The kidneys are responsible for filtering the blood and pulling out wastes and maintaining osmotic balance. Wastes from the kidney are channeled through the ureter and stored in the urinary bladder. Those wastes are then eliminated to the outside world using the urethra. The inside of the kidney has different layers. The deeper into the kidney you go, the saltier it is. This salt content helps us to filter out the different substances in our blood and make the waste products. Blood will enter the kidney through the renal artery and is filtered using the renal cortex and renal medulla. Wastes are collected in the renal pelvis before they filter out and channel down the ureter. Blood will exit through the renal vein. The functional unit of a kidney is the nephron. Nephrons are responsible for actually filtering the blood, reabsorbing nutrients that we need, and getting rid of the waste products. We will see that the fetal pig excretory system is structured similarly to a human's. The urinary bladder is a pouch that's attached to the umbilical cord in these pigs. We see the urinary bladder here. The kidneys will be on the back towards the ventral side of the pig. The ureters will go from the kidney to the urinary bladder, and the urethra will exit from the bladder to the outside world. In lab, we will be dissecting pigs. We will see these systems in the fetal pigs. You are also responsible for recognizing the major parts of these systems on the human models. Good luck. I'll see you in lab.